Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation, Digital Cruising with Virtual Reality, Looking in an Immersive World. You might be familiar with this emoji, sometimes used together with emojis like this. So there's no vegetable or fruits going on. This means looking for sex. Here, looking for sex can also mean the potential for connection, relationship, intimacy, and love. Looking is a careless cynicism that there is no true love but casual sex, while it is also the desperate longing for love, some love, any love. In this project, we are interested in exploring the act of looking in the context of gay geosocial dating apps like Grindr. We use the term digital gaze to refer to this act of looking. To conceptualize digital gaze, we borrow from two bodies of literature. One is the feminist film theory of male gaze. The original theory claims that media representation of women is created through the male gaze, and of which women are sexualized and objectified. Thus, men are positioned to dominate and fetishize women. However, this power dynamic is destabilized when the male in male gaze is sexually interested in other men. The gay spectator would be able to to empathize with both the gazer and the gazed at, and engage in perspective shifting. The gay male gaze engenders a kind of intersubjectivity rather than straightforward objectification. The other source we consult is studies on digital cruising. In the gay cruising culture, a look is the anecdotal ability of gay men to recognize each other with eye contact. The look is supposed to be brief enough to avoid unwanted attention, but it lingers just long enough to let the other man know. The popularity of social dating apps does not limitate the gaze, although now we can directly see each other in the app. Looking and digital cruising is still a complicated management of self-disclosure, negotiation of relationship, and articulation of sexual identity. Manning and Stern theorized the interpersonal panopticism to capture the gaze on dating apps. So this is a picture of Panopticon. Basically, it's a structure where one can view everything around the structure from the center. So it's a kind of a surveillance structure. They put forward five propositions. One, it has become normal to watch and to be watched by others through digital, often computer mediated technologies. Two, negotiations in interpersonal relationships determine how we watch and how we are watched. Three, social institutions and cultural anxieties suggest what should be shared online and how. Next, the relationships we have are open to change as digital memory and personal archiving allow us to be watched even after we no longer wanted to be watched. Lastly, the public nature of digital sharing makes relationships unsexually open for public scrutiny that produces and reproduces relational and sexual anxieties. Next, I'd like to introduce to you our Grindr, now the biggest gay bar in the world. Think about putting 5 million gay men in a giant room. This picture here, used in the advertisement of Grindr, shows a very demographically diverse user group. Here we have different skin colors, gender performances, and body types. But how does Grindr actually look? It's probably something like this. That's quite some white meat here, right? So what's on your Grindr grid in reality is probably something in between. But the problem is that you would gather far more eyeballs, more people would look at you with a profile like this compared to a profile like this. Here is how Grindr describes its own mission. Today, Grindr proudly represents a modern LGBTQ lifestyle that's expanding into new platforms. At Grindr, we've created a safe space where you can discover, navigate, and get 0 feet away from the queer world around you. Keep connecting. In this project, we created a VR installation simulating a digital cruising setting. One can enter a scene or interact with objects in this VR world by the act of looking. We want to recreate a more immersive environment that resembles Grindr to an extent, but meanwhile amplifying the visual interaction with one's surroundings and hence the affective experience of digital cruising. Here are some of the broad questions we asked in this project. How is the potential of relationality enacted through gaze in digital cruising culture? What affective and social formations emerge through gaze on geosocial dating applications like Grindr? How does the mediation of sexual discourse by geosocial dating apps impact gay men's understanding of their own sexuality? So here, we are still developing this installation. Here I want to show you a demo of what we have by far. So here you enter this world, this VR world by wearing a VR equipment. You can enter your name here and connect. So we create some worlds. So here is the world of forest. Basically, it's a setting where you can do cruising. The first thing you can do, you can look at object. Here is a shirt left by someone. These 2 blue dots means like your eyeballs, your eyesight. Here, a profile popped up. And here are some sandals left by, let's see, 1 day ago by a white man who's dating while looking for right now and friends. So you can interact with different objects in this environment. The next thing you can do is to look at things and to show a like or like an endorsement or whatever affective reactions you think you are doing here. You can see when you look at the profile, there are like hearts flowing around the profile. And this is something we are still developing. In the future, there will be possibility to interact with other users who enter this setting, and also you may be like, you may leave some personal marks like on the rock that's there. You can like write things there. You can do things like that. So there will be like more ways to interact with the environment. Oh, here is a gazing hole. You can look at the hole to start a private conversation. Yeah, as we said, like we were looking to have this to be able to host multiple people. So you look at this hole. Yeah, it's completely dark chat room. Users can chat with each other anonymously. So yeah, that's basic a simple demo of what we are developing. And thank you for listening to our presentation, and we are open to all kinds of suggestions and feedback. Thank you, everyone.